Today we're taking a look at the NHL match, which are happening on Friday, April 23, 2021, and giving you my betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. So here are my betting suggestions for Boston Bruins versus Buffalo Sabres match. The Bruins have been unbeatable since the trade deadline, winning all 6 games since and continuing to look like a better team. They catch a big break by playing the Sabres over the weekend, who have played better recently but have been the worst team in the East Division. A season-high 6th consecutive victory was on the table for the Boston Bruins, 27-12-6, who thrashed the Buffalo Sabres with a count of 5-1 at KeyBank Center last night. Brad Marchand, 25 goals, 57 points this year, opened the scoring midway through the first period. The Buffalo Sabres, 12-28-7, were beaten for the third time in their past 4 fixtures, 1-3-0, losing to the Boston Bruins for the second straight night after following up Tuesday's 2-0 shutout defeat with a 5-1 setback at KeyBank Center yesterday. The Sabres killed both of their penalties, but were outshot 38-30 and went 0 for 5 with the man advantage, dropping to 0 for 11 in their last 2 games and to 1 for 18 against the Bruins this season. In fact, prior to their current 3-game set against the Bruins, they had gone 6-3-3 in their previous 12 outings. Still, Buffalo's number has been in Boston's pocket for years now, as the Bees have now won 10 straight games against the Sabres, including all 5 played so far this season, and are 16-5 on their most recent 21 trips to KeyBank Center. With the Bruins playing excellent hockey at the moment, and with Buffalo being one of the worst teams in the NHL when it comes to second parts of back-to-back sets, 42-104, don't expect things to change much on Friday. If anything, do back Boston on the puck line. My first betting advice for that game is to pick Boston Bruins minus 1.5. The Boston Bruins are averaging 2.8 goals per game and are scoring on 22% of their power play opportunities. Brad Marchand leads Boston with 24 goals, David Krejci has 23 assists, and Patrice Bergeron has 146 shots on goal. Defensively, the Boston Bruins are allowing 2.5 goals per game and are killing 85.7% of their opponents' power plays. Tuukka Rask has given up 39 goals on 465 shots faced, and Yaroslav Halak has allowed 41 goals on 456 shots. The Bruins are 5-1 in their last 6 road games and 3-7 in their last 10 games playing on 0 days rest. The Sabres are 42-104 in their last 146 games playing on 0 days rest and 6-20 in their last 26 home games. My second betting advice for that game is to pick over 5.5. So here are my betting suggestions for Philadelphia Flyers versus New York Rangers match. The upcoming game will be the final meeting between the Flyer and the Rangers, and with the season only weeks away from ending, these games will be decisive in determining how the two teams will look by the end of the year and looking forward to next season. The Flyers have been one of the greater disappointments this season, winning only 20 of their 45 games to give them the 6th best record in the East Division. The defense has been the team's downfall, in particular with the unit allowing 3.5 goals per game, which is one of the worst marks in the NHL this season. Aside from Justin Braun and Ivan Provorov, who have combined for 4.1 defensive point shares, the unit has failed to put together any viable defensemen. In addition, Carter Hart has been one of the greater disappointments in the NHL this season, allowing 3.6 goals per game and saving only .877% of shots. The Rangers have lost back-to-back games, but have looked like a better team to close out the season and give hope for the future with the way they've played. The defense has been exceptional this season, allowing only 2.6 goals per game. The duo of Adam Fox and Ryan Lindgren have combined for 6.7 defensive point shares and 127 blocked shots, while K'Andre Miller, Jacob Trouba, and Brendan Smith have combined for 5.8 defensive point shares. In addition, Igor Shesterkin has been incredible as the starting goaltender as he is saving .920% of shots and allowing only 2.4 goals per game. The Blue Shirts do remain the better team, even though their chances of catching up with the fourth-placed Boston Bruins for a playoff spot of the East Division have been dealt a major blow following 2 straight defeats. The Rangers are lagging 8 points behind the Bees with 2 extra games played, but are unlikely to throw in the towel just yet. Yes, yesterday's loss to the Flyers was mainly due to the 6 penalties, including a double minor in the third period the Blue Shirts amassed throughout the game. Still, they have been really impressive when playing at Madison Square Garden lately, losing just twice on the most recent 8 occasions. My first betting advice for that game is to pick New York Rangers. The Flyers are 0-4 in their last 4 games playing on 0 days rest and 1-4 in their last 5 overall. The Rangers are 1-5 in their last 6 games playing on 0 days rest and 6-1 in their last 7 home games. The over is 11-3 in Flyers' last 14 overall. The over is 7-1 in Rangers' last 8 home games. The Flyers are 5-1 in the last 6 meetings in New York and 12-4 in the last 16 meetings. The favorite is 13-5 in the last 18 meetings. I get the case that could be made for either side here, as the Flyers pulled off Thursday's upset, but is it sustainable? The Rangers need the wins more, but they lost the first meeting and have been hard to trust. My second betting advice for that game is to pick under 6.5. So here are my betting suggestions for Nashville Predators versus Chicago Blackhawks match. The Predators have lost 3 of their last 4 games with a lone win in that span against the Blackhawks. The team is in the middle of the pack in the Central Division, only 3 points ahead of Chicago. Nashville is one of the lower scoring teams in the league, and while their defense has been solid on the season, they have given up 12 goals in the 3 losses in their last 4 games. The Blackhawks have won 2 of their last 3 games and they need a solid finish to make the playoffs. The main issue for the club on the season is a defense that is giving up an average of 3.11 goals per game, and in their last 2 games, they have given up 9 goals. The Nashville Predators are trying desperately to hold on to the 4th spot in the Central Division. They have a 2-point lead of the Stars as of this writing. Nashville had a chance to increase their lead to 3 points in Game 2 of this set, as they had a 4-1 lead with 10 minutes left in the game before the Blackhawks scored 3 times to tie the game and send it to OT. Nashville eventually lost it in the extra session. The Preds got 1 point for going to OT, but it could have been 2 points had they won the game. It was the first time the Preds lost to the Blackhawks this year, after 6 wins. The Stars and Preds are above the Blackhawks in the Central Division, but Chicago is still very much in the race for the 4th spot in the division. The Blackhawks won Game 2 of this set by a score of 5-4 and ought to move to within 1 point of 5th place Dallas and 3 points 4th place Nashville. This is a huge game for the Blackhawks, as they could pull to within 1 point of the Preds with a win. While the first game was closer than the scoreboard indicates, we've got 5 strong periods from the Predators and 1 period where the Blackhawks took advantage of Nashville maybe thinking they already won the game. One concern for backing the Predators may be that we're due for Juuse Saros getting a night off. His play in the second half of the season has been superlative, and it may be considered a downgrade to Nashville that the veteran Pekka Rinne will likely start, but in this situation I rather see a rested Rinne than a slow Saros. Meanwhile, Chicago will go back to Kevin Lankinen, who, while better an option than Malcolm Subban, still gave up 5 goals on 22 shots on Monday. My first betting advice for that game is to pick Predators. The Predators are 5-1 in their last 6 road games and 12-5 in their last 17 overall. The Blackhawks are 4-1 in their last 5 games playing on 1 day's rest and 1-4 in their last 5 overall. The under is 3-0-2 in Predators' last 5 overall. The over is 6-2 in Blackhawks' last 8 overall. However, both teams need to shore up the defensive efforts if they're going to continue the playoff push, and I just don't see a high-scoring matchup here. My second betting advice for that game is to pick under. So here are my betting suggestions for Calgary Flames versus Montreal Canadiens match. The Montreal Canadiens are on the road as they travel to face the Calgary Flames in a North Division clash Friday night in the opening game of a 3-game set. Montreal edged Edmonton 4-3 on the road Wednesday night in their most recent contest to end up with a split of the 2-game set. Calgary was dumped 4-2 at home by Ottawa in their previous contest Monday night. In the season series, the Flames have taken 4 of the previous 6 meetings, though Montreal claimed a 2-1 home victory in the latest meeting on April 16. The Canadiens are coming off a 4-3 victory against the Edmonton Oilers on Wednesday. Josh Anderson scored 2 goals. Thomas Tatar and Jeff Petry each had 2 assists. Tyler Toffoli and Arturi Lehkonen each scored a goal. Jake Allen stopped 22 out of 25 shots faced. The Flames are on a 2-game losing streak. Their last game was a 4-2 loss against the Ottawa Senators on Monday. Milan Lucic and Elias Lindholm each scored a goal. Jacob Markstrom stopped 16 out of 19 shots faced. Calgary has fared well against Montreal this season, winning 4 of 6 heading into this 3-game series that will make or break their fading playoff hopes. The Flames are in a situation where they need to come up with some victories in order to gain ground in the chase for the final playoff spot. Montreal has been up and down this season, and they received news that Carey Price is going to be out at least another week as he is in the concussion protocol. My first betting advice for that game is to pick Calgary Flames. The Canadiens are 4-9 in their last 13 games, playing on 1 day's rest, and 4-10 in their last 14 road games. The Flames are 1-4 in their last 5 home games and 4-10 in their last 14 overall. The under is 5-1-1 in Canadiens' last 7 overall. The under is 4-0-1 in Flames' last 5 overall. The Canadiens are 1-4 in the last 5 meetings. The home team is 5-2 in the last 7 meetings. The underdog is 9-3 in the last 12 meetings. The Montreal Canadiens will look to build on a 4-3 win over the Oilers last time out. Tyler Toffoli leads the Habs in scoring with 33 points, including a team-high 22 goals, while Jeff Petry has 32 points with 11 goals and a team-high 21 assists. Jonathan Drouin also has 21 assists, while Josh Anderson has 17 goals, and Thomas Tatar and Nick Suzuki each have 19 assists as well for Montreal this season. As a team, Montreal is averaging 2.9 goals on 32 shots with a 19% success rate on the power play, while allowing 2.8 goals on 28.1 shots against with a 77.8% success rate on the park this season. My second betting advice for that game is to pick under 5.5. So here are my betting suggestions for Minnesota Wild versus Los Angeles Kings match. The Wild are on a 5-game winning streak. Their last game was a 4-1 victory against the Arizona Coyotes on Wednesday. Nico Sturm, Marcus Foligno, Kevin Fiala, and Kirill Kaprizov each scored a goal. Cam Talbot was stellar in net, stopping 39 out of 40 shots faced. The Kings won their last game 4-1 against the Anaheim Ducks. Andreas Athanasiou and Blake Lizotte each scored a goal and had 2 assists. Carl Grundstrom and Andrzej Kopitar each scored a goal. Calvin Peterson stopped 24 out of 25 shots faced. Offense has been trending in the wrong direction lately. They have scored 2 goals or less in 6 out of the last 9 games. The team ranks 20th in goals per game, 21st in shots per game, 19th in shooting percent, and 17th in scoring efficiency ratio. Andrzej Kopitar leads the team with 44 points. He has registered at least 1 point in 7 out of the last 10 games. Currently chasing the 4th-placed Arizona Coyotes by 5 points with no less than 4 games in hand. Still, a complete shift in luck, results and overall performances would be needed for Los Angeles to see any postseason action, with the team having failed to record consecutive victories since the last week of February, following up triumphs with defeats on 8 subsequent occasions. A 9th such time is definitely on the cards on Friday, when Minnesota will drop by the Staples Center, having already banked 2 wins on its last 3 trips to the City of Angels. Physicality, composure, and persistence has led the Wild to the 3rd position in the West Division and to an impressive 8-1 run in their last 11 outings alone. Minnesota has snatched 5 consecutive wins in its most recent 5 games against teams with a losing record and is just too tough of a nut to crack for the Kings. My first betting advice for that game is to pick Minnesota Wild. The Wild are 19-7 in their last 26 games as a favorite and 13-3 in their last 16 Friday games. The Kings are 4-9 in their last 13 games as an underdog and 6-21 in their last 27 Friday games. The over is 13-4 in Wild last 17 road games. The over is 4-1 in Kings last 5 home games. The Wild are 5-2 in the last 7 meetings. The favorite is 14-5 in the last 19 meetings. The home team is 4-0 in the last 4 meetings. The Los Angeles Kings will look to build on their own 4-1 win over Anaheim last time out. Anze Kopitar leads the Kings with 44 points including a team-high 34 assists while Drew Doughty has 31 points with 23 assists. Dustin Brown, Alex Iafallo, Adrian Kemp and Andreas Athanasiou each have double-digit goal and assist marks this season with Brown logging a team-high 16 goals this season. My second betting advice for that game is to pick over 5.5.